process delivery. We are going to discuss about client server paradigm. Okay, what is this client server paradigm? What it has to deal with. Then we will look into how multiplexing and demultiplexing is done in reference models. Like when I consider TCP/IP, how multiplexing, demultiplexing are done. Then we are going to look at connectionless versus connection-oriented service. Like when I consider UDP, you are going to provide connectionless service. When I go to TCP, you are going to provide TCP. We are going to have connection-oriented service. Then, when I consider UDP, again it will be unreliable as we are going to have connectionless service. And again, when I consider TCP, you are going to have reliable service. So, how are we going to achieve that one? Like we considered in our laboratories, right? When we have the chat application by using UDP and TCP, we have observed like if you are getting acknowledgement, like I can say like it is reliable, like you are able to know like someone got your messages. But in the case of UDP, you are not getting any acknowledgement. Even if some thing happens, you don't know if it has been delivered or not. Okay. So the three protocols UDP, TCP and SCTP we will be discussing. That is our agenda. So as we discussed, the transport layer is responsible for process to process delivery. Okay. That means when I consider a particular packet, traveling of a particular packet, we are going to consider starting from like when it starts at your Facebook process, for example, in your system to Facebook server. Okay, there also again the process related to your page we need to connect, not for someone else Facebook, right? If you are opening your Facebook, you should not see your friend's Facebook, right, with your username and password. So I'm going to have some kind of address to your system, okay, by which I'll refer to your system, and within the system I'm going to refer to a process, okay. So we will see the differentiation. Like transport layer is responsible for process to process delivery, and when I consider like this one clearly talks about what is process to process delivery. Let me point it out. So each system you are going to have several processes. Okay, when I consider these systems, you are going to have several processes. Okay, as you can see here, and each system, each system, they will be communicating with another system's process. Like within this system, I have a process one, which is communicating with process X over here. Similarly, when I consider this process 2, it may be communicating with another process Y. Okay. So as you can see, it's like for this particular system, it may also be like I may have another system, okay, in which I may have another process with which a process may be communicating. Okay. So your Facebook is there, it will communicate with Facebook server, that is in one system. Your Gmail is there, it will communicate with Gmail server, that is in another system. Within the system, with process we are differentiating. Outside the system, with respect to IP addresses, we are differentiating. So when I consider like this entire network, when I have to deliver from this computer to this router, I'll say like node to node delivery. Again from here to here, I'll say node to node, node to node, node to node, node to node. But the same thing, if I consider that delivering from this system and to this system, that is nothing but host to host or source to destination, like that I can consider. But within the system, when I consider from one process to another process, that will be as shown here. Okay. So who is responsible for node to node communication? Your data link layer is responsible for node to node communication. When I consider host to host communication, network layer is responsible for that one. When I consider process to process communication or delivery of packets from one process to another process, your transport layer is responsible for that. Okay, is it clear about
Sir,
these things? Yes.
here what is a process, sir?
You see, like as I said, it's an application process which is running on your system. For example, Facebook, Gmail. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So within the system, you are going to have several processes. Like it can be a process related to Gmail, it can be related to a Facebook, okay, or sometimes it may also happen like within Facebook you are trying to fetch some of the information from some advertisement, okay, that is another process again, okay. So you are going to have different applications. For example, if I go to something like a news website, I'm going to have information related to international politics. I'm going to have something related to sports, education, like that. Different things will be there, right? And again, each and every thing like related to sports, it will come contact with the respective server, and when I consider related to news, it will communicate with the respective server, okay. So like that they are considered to be separate process over here within the application itself, okay. So we are going to have port numbers here, okay. So see here, for each of these things we are going to give a particular port number. All those things are available at transport layer. Like for each of these things we are going to give port number. Even at this thing you can see here we have a port number. So my application requires daytime, okay, what is the time at present, okay, my application requires now. So I am going to communicate with daytime server. That is another process which is available somewhere. You are trying to check what is the time in UK. It will communicate with the daytime server and it tries to provide you what is the time in UK at present. Okay. So when you are sending this information, you can see like I'm going to have the information like what is the source port address, that is this one, and with which it is communicating, with 13 it is communicating, and the respective data. Okay, so what will be the data? Like it may be like what is the time now, or what is the time in US, what is the time in UK, and you'll be sending a query, and while replying, this will be the source port address 13, and 52,000 will be destination port address. So by using this address, the packet will be delivered to exact process, not to any other process. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then IP address versus port address. So I hope you did understand the difference between delivering to a particular host and delivering to a particular process. It is something like postman, basically what happens when you consider postal service. If it is international courier, first it will be delivered to regional office, okay, for example maybe Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, something like that. From that, if you are sending to a particular post office, it will be delivered to that particular post office. Again within that particular post office, the postman collects and comes to your colony, within the colony your apartment, within the apartment to your door, okay. That is the process it has to happen. So he can recognize that particular city by using pin code, zip code we will have, right? 5001, 5 lakh 1, 5 lakh 2, something like that. So by using zip code, he will identify the city. But within that city, you are going to have several things like colony address. You are going to have house, apartment name, all those kind of things. Similarly, it is not enough if I just come and deliver my data at network layer by using IP address, but I need to deliver it to corresponding process. But I have different processes running here. So to whom I am going to send here? Okay. So by using port address, I am going to send it to a particular port which is available in my system. So it may be like there may be another system, okay, there may be another system here which may also be running on the port 13. Okay, I may be having another process which may be using the same port 13. Okay, for example, I am using HTTP. Similarly, many people will be using HTTP, right? So for all these people, port address will be 80 itself. So if I just keep 80 as my port address, okay, then while the reply comes, we don't know whether it is related to my device port 80 or your device port 80 or your friend's port 80. Okay, so when I attach that one with IP address, then I will come to know like, okay, within this network, I need to reach this particular IP address. When I reach that particular IP address, what process I need to select? So that process is with port 13. Okay, like that we will be selecting. Okay, so that is like at transport layer, we are going to have port address. At network layer, we are going to have IP address. So first, the packet is extracted by using IP address. Then the packet will be delivered to the respective process by using port address. Then this international agency which takes care of addressing and naming, okay, international agency for names and addresses, it has recognized these things like port address can be in the range of 0 to 65,535, but from 0 and all the way till 1023, I'm going to have well-known port addresses. Okay, well-known port addresses, like I was talking about this thing, HTTP. Okay, what is the port address I told for HTTP? Yes. HTTP uses what port address? Just some time back I said, right?
80, sir.
Yeah. So HTTP, it's a well-known port address 80. Okay, you cannot give it to anybody else. For example, if you are using file transfer protocol, you can use 2021. If you are using SSH, like mostly when we are working with Raspberry Pi, etc., you are going to work with secure shell. Okay, 22 we will use. For example, I want to work with DNS, then I'll be going with 53. Okay, so these are some of the things which are well known. Okay, like wherever you go in the world, these things are common. Like you cannot change these things. If you are using DHCP, you will use 67, 68, something like that. Okay, so even if you search in internet, you will get all these kind of addresses, well-known IP addresses. Then you are going to have some registered port addresses. Okay, apart from well-known port addresses, we also have registered port addresses. Okay, so registered port addresses, again, like there may be some addresses, port addresses, which will be registered for different type of applications. Okay, uh, we cannot exactly say like what is that for which we are using something like that. Okay, maybe for example, if I consider some HTTP, we said like 80, right? An alternative we might be using for HTTP. Okay, that we will be having in terms of registered port address. Okay, similarly, I might be having some number given for some messenger. Okay, that is also again registered port address, I can say. Or maybe something related to streaming a video, streaming a data, I might be having some port address. Okay, they are kind of registered. If we are dealing with network management, we have things like SMI, MIB, SNMP. Okay, those things are also going to have some kind of registered port addresses. Okay, they are ranging from 1024 to 49,151, and 49,152 to 65,535, it is up to us like temporary port addresses we can use for our own applications. Okay. Then we have been talking about socket creation, socket addresses when we dealt with our computer networks lab. So what is socket address is when I combine IP address with a particular port address, that is considered to be socket address. Okay. So there may be questions on this one, like what is socket address, what are the contents of that one. Then you need to say it is going to have an IP address and a port address binded to that particular thing. Our IP and port addresses are bounded here. Then what is the big deal about multiplexing? Okay, so as you can see here, we are going to have several processes running in your system. Okay, all those processes have to communicate by using the IP protocol. So you are going to have a multiplexer which takes the information from all these processes and gives it to IP. Okay, so it is something like I have several inputs over here, but it is trying to select one at a time. Okay, first I will select port 80, then port 53, port 60. Okay, one by one I am going to send it on this particular channel, and whenever it comes back, again I have to make sure whether I have to send it on first one or second channel or third channel or fourth channel. On what factor we will be deciding this one? Depending on the port address. Okay, depending on the port address, you are going to demultiplex that particular packet and deliver to the respective process. Is it clear, multiplexing and demultiplexing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Error control. Like basically, transport layer also does take care of error control. Is there any other layer which also does this process, error control?
Data link.
So as it is given, basically at data link layer also we do handle this thing, error control. So data link layer, it is capable of looking at errors from here to here. But if something is happening over here, it doesn't know anything about it. Okay, again it is capable of handling from here to here. Again, if you are doing something here, it doesn't know. So link by link errors, they are able to data link layer is able to handle that. But when I consider from this particular system or the process from source system to destination system, if I consider errors, your data link layer will not be handled. So it has to be handled by transport layer. Okay, so that is the reason we have error control both at data link layer and also transport layer. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So where are we going to have this process to process delivery applications like TCP, UDP, SCTP? So when I consider TCP IP protocol suite, we are going to have SCTP, TCP and UDP at the transport layer. Okay, so we have seen these things. What are the underlying LAN or WAN technology we have? Then we looked into what is IP, we looked into ARP, RARP at network layer, even we looked into IGMP, ICMP. Okay, now we are looking at SCTP, TCP, UDP. Then after next classes, like when we complete these things, we will look at what are the protocols we have at application, what are the applications we have at application layer. Okay, like FTP, TFTP, DNS, like that. Okay, so this complete CN is about what are the layers we have, what are the protocols we have there, what are the technologies, topologies we are going to have, how you are going to exchange the packets or messages from one end to other end by taking help of all these protocols. Okay, so overall in today's this particular process to process delivery, we looked at what is process to process delivery, how it is different from other layers functionality like data link and network with respect to host to host delivery or node to node or hop to hop delivery, how process to process is different, why do we need some different address, what is port address and what is socket address when I combine port and IP address, we are going to have socket address. Okay. Then how do you handle error control at TCP? Why it is different from data link layer error? And how do you do multiplexing and demultiplexing at transport layer? And why do we need that one? And how are we going to deliver the packets exactly to the same process, for which you have sent a request and got the reply. Okay. So till this part, any doubts you have?
No, sir.
Okay. So in that case, we will stop. Tomorrow we will